What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz just after noon outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Last trade on MULN 175 with the Dow Jones Industrials up 500 points on this day. The obvious question is, with the Tame inflation number and a squeaky chair, are we going to record highs in the S&P by Christmas while MULN and MCOM are stuck in a death spiral? All that and more coming right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Tuesday to you. Yeah, I see it. We got a couple of biotechs on the move. No, I'm not selling. I do not get excited when a stock is up 5 or 10%. It simply tells me, Jason, you're probably right again. You're probably going to be in that 80 to 85, 92% in the last several months win rate. 51-3 in core holdings, 26-2 in the Ask Jason inside of the Discord. That's 77-5. And if I sold MCOM and MULN right now, that's 77-7 with a 9-0 win rate. So when you see me last night or this morning, pounding away on one or two people, it's because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I told you inflation peaked months ago. I told you the 10-year was done at 5%, 8.5% on mortgage rates were done. 4 months ago, I told you Bitcoin was going to go test 24.5, the breakout from February, and then it was 30, 32, 35, and going to run into a brick wall at 30-8. That's exactly what's happened. So when you combine all that with the fact that I've had a 90% win rate, even if I got out of these two stocks that are in the midst of a death spiral, why the fuck would anybody watching me right now? I don't give a shit if you like me or not. Why would you be questioning my judgment? Why, when I tell you that we are in the midst of the third major secular bull market in 100 years, that the Dow is going to double and the NASDAQ's going to fucking triple between now and 2035. We're going to have flying cars and trips to Mars. Kids that are born in the next 5 years might in fact live to be 200 years old. Do you know what the fuck is going on in this world? I do. And one thing I can't stand are people that are always looking at the glass as half empty. So whether I got to push them out or they walk the fuck out, I will not spend with 500 people in the next 10 years of that Discord listening to anybody who's going to get in the way of us making an absolute bloody fucking fortune. If you're an optimistic person, you've been gutted in MULN and or MCOM, and you're willing to take some advice, go to trysmallbiz.com. When this video is over, we have 117 left. When they're gone, they're fucking gone. It's trysmallbiz.com. No, you do not need a small business to get a Discord. It's cancel anytime the first 2 months. Get all your money back. I've already refunded, whether they quit or got fired, about 14 people. There'll be 14 more that come and go by the end of the year. Take advantage of the entire 2 months. And tomorrow, in fact, right after I do this video, I'm doing a short welcome video. The one I did last week was 27 minutes long. People are not going to watch that. I'm shooting for 8 to 10 minutes on this one. It's going to go in the brand new channel called Welcome. It's part of the email that goes out as soon as somebody signs up. And when we get hit with the "Are we there? Are we there yet, Jason?" questions, I'm going to say, go watch the welcome video. It's 8 minutes long. It'll have everything in there, so I don't have to keep repeating myself over and over and over again. But before I talk about this market and, of course, the death spiral known as MULN and MCOM, let me once again reemphasize, I know what the fuck I'm doing. It's taken me 30 years, half of that as a broker from 93 to 2007 when I went bust trading options. No, I do not recommend that unless you're doing covered calls and you know what the fuck you're doing. I do not trade on margin. I do not trade excessively in terms of risk. I'm typically buying stocks like the 9 that we own right now, 2 of which are on the move, actually 3 of which are on the move today when they're down over 95%. In some cases down 99.9%. And there's some form of a catalyst. And my goodness, how many more fucking wins do I have to rack up? Almost 200 in the last 19 months, 77-7 if I sold these two dogs. And before I tell you why they're in the midst of a death spiral, the way I look at MULN and MCOM is I don't have to send the government half of my liquidity like I did last year. Very depressing, right? You're skilled. You're among the best in the world at what you do. In my case, it's trade penny stocks, and I got to give the government half of my money so they can send it over to fucking Ukraine and probably Israel and the Gaza and Taiwan after that, just so they can launder it to the hitting hand. Yeah, it's fucking annoying and depressing. But now this year, I know that those are going to be the two gifts that keep on giving. And did I mention that? No, I don't get excited when a stock is up 10%. To you scalpers, and I hate that fucking word, so I wouldn't use it too often. Right, Damon? I would not use that word too often in the fucking Discord. I wait until at least 20%. You got my permission after that point to pull the ripcord all day long. But when you're itching to get out with a trigger finger up 5 to 10%, you're scalping, you're wasting your fucking time and money, and you're driving me nuts. And we'll see what happens if that continues for much longer. David at MULN and Salvatore 0219 have absolutely ruined their credibility. We don't need to belabor the fact that these are two of the biggest pieces of shit ever to walk the planet in terms of CEOs of NASDAQ companies. And if they want to send me a cease and desist letter over that, I welcome it. Send it to me. Send it to me. Your stock is down 99.9 fucking percent. You keep moving the goalposts. You keep changing the record dates. You keep jacking up the float to billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of fucking shares. And in the case of Sal, you want an apology? We just looked at it again back in fucking March or February of this year when the stock was reverse split adjusted at $7. You want a fucking apology now with it at 2? Or should we wait until it's a fucking penny? You tell me, pal. Better yet, have your lawyer tell me so I can share it with everybody. Massive class action lawsuit in the works because I told you 3 months ago, if they challenge me again with another cease and desist, we are going to raise holy fucking hell. As or more importantly, I can help you get out of this ditch. If you to properly manage risk, even if you got a 15% position like I do, and you had 10% per idea, which is what I've been saying now for years, you would have had over 70 winners if you'd followed me in and out of every fucking trade. If you're just inside of the Discord, there's been dozens. We had 2 more Ask Jasons today. It typically takes 2.5 to 3 weeks for them to come into the buy zone. I do a write-up. There's graphs. I tell you what they do. I tell you exactly where to buy. We've got the old limits back in terms of the buy zone. You don't have to think. You don't have to wonder. You just have to show up and fucking pay attention to what's taken me 30 years to figure out. And if you got cash and a stock is inside of the limit, so if I say limit 18, it means 18 cents or better, 17 and change. You could have done that with one of our biotechs. I think I just saw it shoot up and over 20 cents. It may not stay there today, but it's indicative that we once again nailed the entry point, aka the buy zone. So in closing, think of MULN and MCOM as a tax loss. If they ramp, they ramp. I haven't put any new money in either one in the last several weeks and months in the case of MCOM, and I never will. They have violated my trust and hopefully yours. Let somebody else throw good money after bad. Let somebody else use their sweat equity to get the stock up. Because one thing, as I'm choking on this coffee, one thing you have to realize is it's as good as, if not better, when you're down big, you're down 70, 80%. Let someone else cut that loss in half if we could ever be so fortunate. You don't have to put any more money in there, but you can use that, whether you sell some of it, half of it, or all of it by the end of this year or even into next. Yes, you can carry off over losses, $3,000 a year. We see some people, I've seen some people inside of the Discord explaining it. I just want to say, before I do let you out of here, and hopefully under 10 or 12 minutes, I'm very proud of the vast majority of you. Words can't describe how I feel when I see someone say, I picked up XYZ and it's inside of the buy zone. We had a biotech, it was up at 19, too high, too high. Boom, they knocked it down to 1738. Somebody, actually 2 people grabbed it. And then 15 minutes later, it's back up. And now it's up and around 20 and small change. I get such a kick out of that. The smaller you are, the better. You're getting it. You're learning. And if it's not crystal clear enough, if there's somebody who doesn't belong in this fucking Discord, if they're not part of the family, they're going to be fucking thrown out or pushed out one way or another. And until next time, yeah, I'm a little excited and irritated if that's possible. Always remember that I love you, and thanks for watching.